Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's Mike with smartoptiontrading.com. It's Friday, August 2nd. This is your weekly recap. This goes out to everybody who is in my service, as well as for those of you who are not and are part of my email subscriber list. If you're interested in learning more about me, please come over to smartoptiontrading.com. Click on either the newsletter where you're at or real-time option flow. Real-time option flow, I provide option flow trades, commentary, news throughout the day, morning setups video, nightly recap video where we talk about what we like for the day or what we like moving forward, live 3 hours a day in a chat room, and do weekly mentoring webinar every Thursday nights at 6 o'clock. $25 for the first 30 days, cancel anytime, $100 per month thereafter. All right, so that brings us to today and this week. And boy, this week has just been very, 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 very tough. I didn't trade a lot. I had a green week. I got my butt kicked a little last week, repositioned myself, and here we are. So when we look at this chart and you say, okay, well, tell me what's so good about it. Let's go to a 1-year chart on the SPY first, right? Here was our sell-off. That was the first stop, okay? That January from 2018, that's when we caught our first stop here, right? What's important to know here is that since the December lows, we have tested the 200-day twice and held, right? We went briefly below, but right back up. Same thing here, right back up. 200 days down at 278. We've already done a 3% pullback off the highs. 5% is roughly 287.17. And we do have a plethora of possible support right into the area we are in right now. Why is that? Well, look where we are, right? Where the 100-day is. Look where all these candles based in here. We did a lot of basing right here, right around this 290 area where the 100-day is and stuff. So, we'll be watching that closely as we go into next week. Everybody's saying, what do you think here? What do you think? Well, what I think here is that this market is tough. It's very, very difficult. We can see you had real selling volume the last 2 days. First, we got hit with the Fed. Powell did a rate cut, but then he was not dovish. Said basically one and done. By the way, the couple Fed governors who have spoken since then are all hawkish. Okay, they're not more. Yesterday, we were bouncing, taking it all back when Trump tweeted out more tariffs. Okay, more tariffs followed by Lighthizer saying the recession, the R word, recession, and we closed on the lows. And today we gapped down, we got follow through to the downside. Okay, very, very textbook type action. Off the highs from last week at 302, and we're right on the 50-day right now, off it a little bit. We are getting oversold. You can see the intraday oscillator here at negative 134. The put to call has spiked up huge. We'll take a look at that. Give me a sec. We'll put that up here. There we go, up over 1. Typically, this leads to some type of reversal. In my life, in my world, the best action here would be to close weak, gap down a little bit on Monday, and then a reversal, and then take us into Tuesday, and then see where we go from there. So for that, we look at it. What was flow like this week? Well, flow was all over the place because there was a ton of earnings going on with the Fed and with everything going there. But when you look at today's action, there's a lot of interesting action here. Like CRM caught a ton of action. August 23rd, 150 calls, the September 150 by 160 call spread. A lot of what I think is going on in these call spreads is they're rolling down to try to get back into better delta. So most likely we'll check on Monday. They roll from September 160s to 150 calls, right? Apple, August 215 calls, way out of the money, not sure. Facebook, November 195 by 200 call spread, right? We'll see if what they did there. I think the 195s, they rolled down. Same thing with BABA here. Target, we had a big October 70 put player. He either sold them to open or he closed them. But you can see what they're going for here. So if you look at CRM, there we go, right? They don't want it. They're rolling down to get better delta. They're rolling down to this area to try to play a bounce. And I think that's what they're trying to do here. They're trying to play bounces in this market. When I look at charts today and I say, what has my interest here? Twitter, right? Twitter, look at the action in this. Didn't care today. Holding up well. Back up to the top of the Bollinger Band. Looks good. I like how that's trading. Micron today, despite everything going on, reversal candle. Nice look here. We'll keep an eye on this one moving forward. Right, so a couple of these names are showing some signs of life here. Market getting perky here with 35 minutes to go. It'd be better if it sat still, but that's not the case. They don't like to sit still. Roku has earnings next week, so off my radar for the next couple of days. Trying to cling to the 50-day here. Square, horrible earnings, right? Either, I wish it would get to 60. I would love to buy it at 60. Right now it's kind of in no man's land under the 200-day. bouncing now hard now with this market bounce. Boeing held up well today. Okay, we're a little bit oversold bounce, pushing back up, not really connected to anything. Apple gave back the entire earnings move. Never a good sign in the markets, right? We don't want to see that, but here we do. We'll keep an eye on it. It's kind of in the middle of nothing. And that's really where a lot of this is coming from right now, guys. A lot of this stuff is in the middle of nowhere. Shop holding in fairly well, still didn't fill all the way down to the gap, held the 21-day and bounced. But I didn't make any trades today. I wasn't feeling good. I have some type of infection going on behind my ear, and then just when I don't feel good, I really just tend to not trade, just because I find it to be safer. I don't make big decisions, and don't want to be stressed out. What I do this week, I didn't trade heavily. I took my trades. I made money on OS2K on Monday right away. Made money on. I took trim some of my calls as well that I haven't. I still have a few of those left. Made money on Roku Common a couple times. Apple was a nice trade. My one thing I hate about the Apple calls is I was trying to fill at 3. I ended up having to get out 247. Tiny loss on AMD action. Apple got back in again on the 220 calls yesterday, made a quick $100, got out. VXX made a little bit of money before I got stopped out, and I took a 1-cent loss, which would have been like a 20-cent winner on GDX when I lost patience with it this morning when it wouldn't go. Bottom line is there's a lot going on here. Gold is definitely something to keep an eye on at this point. Just a tough trade. Look how far it dipped. When the market was selling, it was dipping this morning. Should have been pushing up. Seeing a lot of weirdness here. The VIX has gone back up. And overall, going into next week, we got to see what we want to do here. VIX is out of the Bollinger Bands here again, looking for some type of reversal. But first time we've had action. We talked about on Sunday, had a break above 1460, which it did. Now it's back up into the top of this 20 range. That was our target. Well, there you go. Target is hit. So we'll see where it wants to go from here. That said, I hope all of you are doing well. I hope you all got a good week. Next week, I suspect this is not over, maybe a little bit more, but we'll see where we go from here. And I'll post some charts on the weekend. So I hope everybody had a great week and has a good weekend, and I'll see you guys later.